Ready to shine inside out? Welcome to Polished Beauty Podcast, where ambition meets empowerment. We talk business, beauty, brain, body. I am your host, Dr. Daisy Ayim, triple board certified cosmetic surgeon and OBGYN. Let's get polished. Welcome to this episode. I'm really excited. I have a phenomenal guest with me, okay? She's a bodybuilder. She's a CEO. She has so much, a well-to-do company, and she's going to talk to us about looking fit and fabulous over 40. As you can see, she looks amazing. Welcome to the show, Anca. How are you?
So much Daisy. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to actually meet you. First and foremost, not under circumstances.
Yeah.
That's where the one practice usually happens the best. So I'm super excited to have this conversation with you. It's like an organization you have to drive, especially as busy women that do so much on a regular basis after 40.
Yes. And guys, just before I go any further, do you see how amazing she looks? I am taking notes. So we all are going to take notes on this podcast today. Okay? No, I mean, I don't know where to start. So let's start with this. How did you get into bodybuilding?
So there's this story that I like to share because, I've been into fitness. I would say that technically I've always been an athletic person. Now, have I done it with knowledge and understanding of how to progress in a way that shows results? No. I was the person that would go into the gym because going to the gym sounds like the right thing to do if you want to care about your health and your physical health. And I would just jump from thing to thing and not really have any strategy, no understanding of what builds muscle progressively. And I did it for many years. Really up until I was maybe 38, and it was fine. It was kind of made me feel good, but I would not see results. And a lot of women struggle with this. Like they go to F45, they go to Orange Theory, they go to yoga classes, they go to spin classes, they go to all the classes. And then they go home and they have this boba tree and this shake, and they completely diminish their gains because what you worked out for like 45 minutes of complete sweat, you just went and destroyed in a little drink that you thought was helpful because, you want the shake.
The nutrient.
You want right? Only it's full of carbs and sugars, and all of that hard work is gone to waste because you just literally put all these carbs back into your system that will turn into fat. So I've been doing that whole roller coaster and also going through yo-yo dieting like many, many women that I know because, you have kids, you go to pregnancy gain, and then you want to lose the gain. And then you're like, what am I going to try? So I tried keto and I tried this Mediterranean diet and I tried this other diet and I tried Dukan and I tried all of it. For a while, some of it worked. But here's the problem that I didn't realize that I was causing to myself as I'm aging. I completely destroyed my metabolism. My metabolism was wacky, and I didn't realize how much I have destroyed, even my ability to lose fat, because I was constantly just navigating this crazy cycle of up and down yo-yo dieting. So here comes COVID. And I'm sure we all had some awakening happening during that time. For me, it was a mental and emotional reckoning. It was the lowest point of my life. I went through sort of like an emotional breakdown. And the reason for that is because all my life, I have been very productive. I'm a personality go-getter. You don't need to motivate me. I'll go and get it. And here comes COVID, and it shuts down all of the industries. One of the industries that was really impacted was the industry that brings people together, the event industry.
Exactly. We were suffering from that.
No longer having anything on the schedule in a matter of days.
Yeah.
I had an event of 600 in-person gala event that was going to be happening on a Saturday. And on Thursday, the governor of Oregon, this was in Oregon, comes on the news and says no more gatherings over 50. And then he went down to no more gatherings of the 10, and then no more gatherings altogether. When you put your identity attached to what you do, which I have done all my life, then you have this existential crisis. Who am I if I am not able to do all this that I've done all this time? So it was this breakdown, in the middle of this breakdown, that I had to figure out, how do I fix myself? I'm a fixer.
Yes.
I don't just wait for someone to fix me. I'm like, I don't know how to fix myself. What I can do is I'll just go into the gym and work on the things that I can control. And the one thing I can control right now is my body and the energy that I put into it and the time that I spend to get stronger.
Yeah.
So I literally turned this into a therapy
Wow.
session. Like every time I would go into the gym to have my own time so that I can be in my head and I can navigate through some of the challenges of like, how do I fill up my pipeline? How do I make money? How do I get out of this hole that everybody is, including myself? So I would go under the barbell, I would do my squats, I would sweat and I would cry and I would swear and I would go through all the motions.
Yeah.
And it was just a way of managing the weight, the emotional weight, and the struggle of going through that season and also being alone.
Yeah.
I am a social person. I love connections. I love people. I thrive when there's, like, you can tell I'm a little bit outgoing, but I also love my solitude time.
Yes.
I love to recharge during the times when I'm alone. And all of that was gone. So long story short, that's what got me into the gym. And I started going consistently only because I needed this mental break. Lo and behold, I think it was about 6 months into this process, one of the trainers, because I also went to a different gym, it was a new gym, and it all started with seeing someone's story on Instagram, and she shared her own journey of going postpartum and feeling like super not confident in her own body and taking herself to this journey of bodybuilding to compete.
Yeah.
Now, she didn't go far competing. Her story inspired me beyond belief because I was looking at her and I knew her personally.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if she can do it,
I can do it.
I'm wondering if I could do it too, right?
Yes.
And I think there is the power in when we share things on social, many people think that you just share out of vanity or out of like you
Yes.
need attention or whatever. Honestly, I share because I know there's going to be one person there that maybe, just maybe, they're going to look at that story and say, I could be that.
And they
I
be
could-
influenced
Exactly. Could
in a
be
good way.
influenced towards good. And I know that people are because I get a lot of DMs. I like a lot of messages from women. They're like, I love your consistency, your dedication, your discipline. And I want to do more of that. And I started doing this and I started doing that. And I'm like, it
Yes.
fills my heart with joy because I see them doing something they're comfortable with, but they're stepping into the
And they're
unknown
keeping up.
and they're keeping up. Exactly. So that's kind of what started my journey.
Mhm.
And then from there, I started pursuing bodybuilding because one of the coaches at this one gym saw my ability to change physically because I was there every single day. Like I was not missing a workout because for me at that point it was mental and emotional.
Yeah.
I talk about physical fitness, about mental fitness and emotional fitness in my podcast a whole lot because to me it's this holistic approach to not just transforming your body, but your mental capability, ability, your capacity, and
Yeah.
even your emotions to learn boundaries. I struggle with boundaries.
Yeah.
And then being able to dedicate myself towards something and stick with it
Mhm.
and not break promises made to myself.
Yeah.
That's basically what it's
So for
about.
the woman that is listening to this out there that's over 40, one of the complaints I see in my practice is, they've had kids or maybe not even have kids, but they're like, Dr. Ayim, I'm in the gym, I'm working out, I'm eating healthy, I'm doing all these things, but the weight is not going off. What would you advise her to do differently? Because they say all those things that you say you do, but they don't see results. What do you think is missing?
Well, I'll tell you the things that I thought I was doing, but I wasn't seeing results. I would say that I am working out 30 to 45 minutes a day every single day. I am eating healthy, but I had no concept of macros or macronutrients. I generally thought that I'm eating healthy, but you would be surprised how many women do not know how to feed themselves holistically. I train a few of the event professionals that I work with because I operate in the event industry. And to me, those are the people that I feel like I can help the most because I understand their schedule, I understand their constraints. And they struggle with just figure out how to eat at home and cook at home without eating out.
Yeah.
Because when you go and eat out, you don't know.
You don't know what's inside.
You don't.
Yes.
You think it's healthy just because it's a salad, but you don't know how much oil, you don't know how much other things have been added.
Yeah.
So as a competitor, I had to learn what it really means to eat healthy and on point.
Yes.
Because At the end of the day, it's all about calories in, calories out. If you eat over your calorie maintenance level, then you will gain weight. Now, how do you know what is your total energy expenditure is something that you need to learn. And I always would say to the friends that I work with, the clients that I work with, start with the baseline. You need to know what you eat in a week and you need to track everything. You need to have your baseline.
Yeah.
So that means I have a little scale that I carry with me in my backpack everywhere.
Oh, just
My little food scale that I take with me everywhere.
Okay.
I put a bite into my mouth, but that didn't just go into my mouth first. First, it was on the scale. I track everything and I need to know where I am. Now, after a few years of doing that, you habitually
No.
so I don't have to, unless I'm in prep where I'm very strict with my macros, I already know where my carbs are coming from, my fat, my protein. And the most important thing, especially for us women, we need to get a list. I would say one time our body weight of proteins in grams. I take 1.25 to 1.5. So like, for example, if I'm 115, multiply that by 1.5, and that's the amount of grams that I get as far as protein daily intake.
Okay.
Now, if you want to gain muscle and exchange that fat, because it's all about body recomposition, so that your own body works for you. Muscle is the way to go because muscle will burn extra calories. Muscle will give you the energy, and then also gives you the toned look.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they're like, I don't want to put on muscle because I don't want to look bulky. Well, let me just tell you something. To gain this amount of muscle, it took me 5 years of hard, consistent work.
Wow.
Not because you lift a dumbbell and just because you get some protein in, you will not put on muscle. Because if you do, you're a freak of nature, and I want to be you. Because I know how hard I work for this.
Yes.
So exchanging your body composition and modifying that takes protein intake. But that means you have to be aware where your calories are coming from. You need to start with creating this baseline of what you're eating. I don't care that you're telling me they're eating healthy. I also have women telling me, I don't eat anything all day long. I'm like, I don't believe you. Because the same woman that's telling me that, I look at her macros once I start her on this plan to start tracking everything, and 300 grams of carbs she's intaking.
Oh, wow.
From this drink and this frappuccino and this boba tea and this other thing. And I'm like, you don't eat anything, but you drink your calorie like nobody's business.
Oh, wow.
And just in comparison, if you're taking 350 grams of carbs a day just by drinking, my intake for the day is 100 grams of carbs. That's my maximum. And I work as hard as you can't even imagine I push in the gym. But that's my maximum because I really keep a really tight schedule on my calories. I don't want to gain, and I'm in maintenance.
Yeah.
So when you say you do all the things, my guess is you do it at the level of understanding and knowledge that you have right now, but it takes a little bit more for you to get to the next level. And for me, it took education, really understanding where my food sources are and how do I fuel my body so that, like, if I only eat, say, 1,200 calories a day, it's sustainable food that fills me up. It's not going to be anything sugary. It's not going to be anything of the nature of like, I'm just drinking it and then I'm hungry again.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be snacking in front of the TV. I'm not going to go in between meals and just like pick a little bit of everything.
So you are disciplined.
You have to get to that point.
I think there are two things I've heard you said consistently: being consistent and being disciplined. And that's something that
beats motivation.
Yes. So for those who are living, you said macro. I know what macro is, but can you explain it for the audience watching that? Because you said, watch your macro. What is macro?
So when you think of a food item that you have on your plate, it's made out of many ingredients. At a macro level, you would have protein, carbs, and fats. Those are the three main ingredients that make that. So when you look at, the FDA's general understanding of what your macro should be, it's going to tell you that you should take about 60% of your calories from carbs, 20% from fats, and another 20 from protein, which is completely upside down than what I would do if you want to lose weight, if you want to look toned, and if you want to change your body composition. So what I do, I actually flip that. I would get my protein first because that will create this sustainable food fullness in your stomach so you don't feel hungry.
Yeah.
Then fats, you want healthy fats, like at a minimum 40 to 50 grams for women for our hormonal health. We need that.
Yeah.
Guys can go much lower, but we women, we need it. And then carbs is what sustains your energy throughout the day.
Yeah.
So if you have a very busy day, say you do a lot of steps, work out, then I would allow myself 20 to 30 more carbs that day. And if my daily intake is 100, I would do maybe 130, 140. Again, this is because I'm in a maintenance.
Yeah.
And I am a bodybuilder and because I have a show coming up. For a general person, I would say 200 max. You should only be at 200. If you go post 200 and your average person in America eats 300 to 400 carbs, like they're great.
Yes, yes, yes.
So start there, having an understanding where your food is coming from. And then from there, once you have your baseline, then you can say, now I will work to cut 500 calories. And those 500 calories will come from cutting carbs and fats. I never cut protein. For me, the two levelers will always be carbs and fats.
Got it.
And that gives me then the calorie deficit that I need to be able to make progress towards weight loss.
Yes.
But here's the secret, Daisy.
Once
you get to a point where you have enough muscle mass, you can eat way more past that, and your body starts metabolically changing to burn more and faster and be more efficient. So that is the mecca that you want to get to.
Absolutely.
Because once you get to that mecca place, then you're not so much concerned about, I'm eating all this food and I'm not burning it, and it's just going to put on weight on my waistline and everywhere else, because your body starts working in overtime to do the things that it's supposed to do. But it has to have the right ingredients in place to be this working mechanism that was intended to be.
Yeah. So for the woman that is in her 40s, it's not too late to start.
No, it's not.
She can start and achieve what I am looking for.
40. When I started, I was 40 and I didn't know what I was doing, but I started because I knew I had to. And I think that's kind of like the one thing that you have to make up your mind about it. If you start now, how much more advanced will you be in a year from now?
Yeah.
If you just start.
Yeah. I mean, I love it. This morning, guys, we actually ran into each other in the gym and I was doing my routine stuff and I looked over my shoulder and I see you pumping the weight. And I was like, I don't want to be her. So everything she says, she's doing it in real life. And obviously you see the results. So hormones is a big thing for women, because there's that problem, when you get in your 40s or 50s, estrogen drops down, testosterone is down, there's fat accumulation, all the things you did in your 20s, somehow it's not working in your 40s. And you have to move differently is what I'm hearing from you,
Absolutely.
Very intentional.
And I think it comes down to, again, it's not just about lifespan. It's about health. Lifespan, we all have an accounted number of days to live on this beautiful earth. That's it. Health span is how it's kind of your IRA, your investment in your future self. 10 years, 20 years, 30, 40 years from now, what are the type of activities you still want to be doing? Do you want to run after your kids? Do you want to play pickleball, tennis, yoga, whatever it is? I still want to be lifting weights, and start doing those things now so that your future self can still do those things and can still operate in the same way at that capacity. Right? Will I be able to lift 300 pounds as a deadlift when I'm like 80? I sure hope so, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But I'll still be able to lift the barbell.
Absolutely.
I can tell you that much, because I'm doing the work and I'm putting in the time now, the same way how I'm putting investments into my financial health in the future, right? So you have to think about your health, this one vessel that you have, the same way you think about your financial, how you think about your future, how you think about how will I sustain myself once I'm retired, and how will I pay for my bills, in the future. It's just too many people, though. I think they only realize how important health is when they no longer have it.
Yeah.
When there's some kind of
in the sick or in the bad.
They got sick, they got a diagnosis, they realize that they just hit this wall and nothing works anymore. If we could be proactive, I think so many things we could stop with just being a little more proactive.
Yeah.
How do you spend your time? Because a lot of people say, well, I don't have the time. It sounds like you have so much time. Well, I'll tell you, I don't have time.
It's busy. Yes.
I make the time.
Yeah.
I'm running 3 businesses. I am running 2 different shows. I am speaking at events. I am traveling, also competing. So I'm prepping for that. And I have a family and kids. I do not have time.
Wow.
I don't. I
Yeah.
have to make it. I do wake up super early so I can get my workout in, so I can go my steps, so I can do the things that I normally would not have time to do because my kids will be up and I have to take care of them. I have to take them to school. I have to do all those things. I have meetings. I have appointments. All of that is just and another thing though, I want to add here, being in control of your schedule. If you're not in control of your own schedule, somebody else will.
Yes.
Who do you want that to control your schedule? Do you want somebody else or yourself?
So what about the woman that has a job where she has to clock in 8 to 5? I'm the worst boss I ever had. I know, being an entrepreneur, that you don't, you work 24 hours a day. You just choose to walk away and then come back later.
There's definitely some freedom with being an entrepreneur, and I won't give that away. I mean, I was in a place last year where I was given like this amazing offer to work for someone else. And I had to question myself, am I even employable? And I'm like, I'm going to give it a try. I lasted 3 months.
It's good to know yourself.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
But going back to your question, even if you're like, you're 8 to 5, I think that's actually a great scenario because that time is allocated to this one place, to this one job. Then you can go early in the morning or you can go late at night.
Yeah.
I do those things all the time. I have to divide in between. So if I'm up at 4:30, it's because I need to be doing 45 minutes of cardio and I need to get my 45 minutes of weightlifting. And then I need to get my kids ready to school, take them to school, and then be ready for my first appointment of the day. And all of that happens before 8 a.m.
Oh my
So
goodness.
if you're telling me that you don't have time, it's because you really need to look at that schedule and block it. I block my schedule so nobody takes away that time from me. So that is what I'm saying, having power over your own calendar and put it in. If you prioritize a meeting with a client, you need to prioritize time with yourself.
I love that. So for our audience, I always ask my guests this one question, what's the one bold thing? It could be a moment. It could be a decision. It could be a life-changing event. The one bold thing that has got you here today, where you are.
I was 21 and my parents wanted to marry me off because I'm the oldest of 10. I come out of Romania and that was not the life that I wanted for myself because I was going to get married eventually. It's just was not going to be done.
Yeah.
I just finished college and they're like, I'm going to marry you. We're going to marry you off with this rich person. And I had absolutely no traction or nothing. So instead, what I did, I got on an airplane with $150 in my pocket and I flew to US. And that changed the trajectory of my life in ways that I can't even explain to you what that would have worked. Yeah. As a 20-year-old, I was terrified of getting to be 30 because every person around me that was 30 looked like they were 60. Okay. And I said, I do not want to get to 30 and look like that because they're tired, they're unhappy with their life, and nobody seems to be able to change their life. And they're stuck in this hamster wheel. And to me was, I'm going to fly away, literally, and find my own path, my own journey on my own terms. Even though I didn't know anyone in the US, even though I didn't know if I was going to figure out or make it, I was going to give myself a chance to live a different life.
So, guys, that's clearly where ambition meets empowerment. And you guys know the tagline of this podcast is where ambition meets empowerment. And you've just heard this moment right there. Taking a leap of faith and believing in yourself and counting on yourself. Investing on yourself would always pay off. How can they reach you? Tell us your Instagram, your website, everything. Can you tell us more about you so they can follow you?
If you're someone that is more interested in my fitness, bodybuilding journey, I'm on Instagram at Fit Mindful Maven, and I post quite a bit of exercises, workouts, behind the scenes. It's basically my whole journey. I go through prep and I go through competition. So I really share a whole lot on that.
And handle for me? Maven. Got it.
That's right. And then if you're interested in the podcast, Events Demystified covers everything that has to do with events. AI technology is the top event technology podcast in the industry. And it's all about AI strategy. That's another side of my business that when I have conversation about the future of work, about how do we integrate technology into our lifestyle. It's all that. And then I'm also a speaker, and that is at Anca Platon Trifon. That is my name. That's on Instagram. That's on my website, Anca Platon Trifon, on LinkedIn, Anca Platon Trifon. And the way you spell it, ANCAPLATON, and last name TRIFAN. And those are my places. Yes.
Okay. Thank you for sharing all of that. And guys, I'm going to include all the information in the description so you can follow her and support her. And you know what? We want to look like you, Anca.
Well, I mean, look like you. I don't know about you're all about beauty. And that's one thing that I would say. Yes, you can see this persona, but sometimes I do have to make compromises. And for me, maybe one of those compromises is taking care of my skin or makeup, or I don't put on makeup. I don't know how to put on makeup because I've never learned it. And I don't honestly spend the time to learn.
You don't need it. You eat clean and it shows because what we consume shows on your skin.
Absolutely. I think that's the secret to that. But again, it's like I see all these beautiful ladies with their makeups and I'm like, I am so jealous because I do not know where to start. And what's funny about all my sisters, they are all pro artists in makeup and lashes and all the beautifying things. And I'm the top one.
You're the opposite. But you know what is good? This is why it's a balance. Because I guarantee you, if you were doing all of that, you probably would not feel yourself.
I would, sometimes I think women, they find the one thing that they're really passionate about and invest most of their energy there. It's a good thing. But we also need balance and we need integration. So the same way how probably I should learn how to do my makeup because it serves me well sometimes once in a while. It's good to also learn how to work out and how to optimize your nutrition, how to optimize your body so that not only you operate at a high capacity, but you don't run out of energy. You don't run out of steam. Because most women after 40, one of the main complaints is, I'm so tired all the time.
Yes.
I feel you, girl. I feel you, girl. But the only way you can regenerate the energy is by working out. I promise.
Thank you guys for this episode, listening to us today. If you like this episode, as always, continue following us, subscribe, and you have all of Anca's information. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and thank you for listening. Video recording of this episode will be featured on our YouTube channel, Dr. Daisy Ayim. We are also found on Instagram at Polish Beauty Podcast or at Dr. Daisy Ayim. Remember, new episode drop every Wednesday. So stay tuned. Please like, share, follow.